Welcome to the Wrench Ramble Show with your host, Shawn and Kirk. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Wrench Ramble. I'm Kirk, and this is Shawn with me tonight. And tonight, you're hanging out with us on episode 002. We've got a fun lineup for you, and then all kinds of things tonight. So I'm going to share with you actually tonight about some preparation for the show tonight. I went over to get some noodles at Noodles Company, and they messed up bad. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the service and so on, and compare it to what's happening around in society. And then we'll dive into the tool talk. We'll talk about shop talk, and even have some funnies tonight, and then maybe dive into some serious conversation, and then we'll have some chat and ramble a little bit later as well. And we're gonna add the car segment. So I've got a long history with cars, and so Shawn and I agreed to add that in, and so that's exciting. Shawn, I got to tell you, there's feedback that's coming off of it, and we've got a fun noise that keeps on coming off the microphone on your side and it feeds back in. It sounds like you're farting all the time.
It's probably my AC unit. So
yeah. Well, actually, you know what? I wonder if it's feedback off my microphone.
It's probably you. It was you last time.
Yep. Okay, so it's my fault. Sorry, folks, but you can have a laugh and say. And we got BC Outdoor Adventures already in with us. So hey, how you doing tonight? I hope you're having a good time, and we'll get going. We're also going to talk about a new and exciting thing that we're going to be doing on the EMG equipment grounds. Shawn and I, and we're partnering with a couple of other people, and we're launching a new hybrid consignment weekly auction. So we'll be telling you about those things, about the auction, and then giving you an opportunity to come on in and bid on things that we'll have for sale in the auction. I think Shawn's probably going to have probably will have some equipment stuff in there, related stuff. And then I also do estates and so on. So we'll have estates, all kinds of stuff, just whatever. So it'll be a big auction. And so grab a drink and get comfortable. Let's roll into episode 2 of Wrench and Ramble. So how you doing tonight, Shawn?
Good. How about you? Sounds like you had some problems with your noodles.
I did. It was crazy. I was trying to prepare for the show, and so I thought, well, I'm not going to make something to eat at home, and I hit the online ordering and ran over to the Noodles Company, and they've always been great about getting in there, getting my noodles, and just going. So I had something to eat tonight, and so I get there, and I got there a little bit early, and then they said my order was complete. And nobody brought my order out, and I saw it sitting up there. I went up there and I asked the kid about it, and he said, "Oh, it's still coming." So I sat there for 20 minutes waiting, and I finally went back up there. And then there was another young lady came around, and she said that they didn't even have the stuff to make my food. And I'm like, well, that would have been nice if you would have told me. Here I am trying to do this fast and get ready and have plenty of time to prepare for the show. And so it just turned out to be a nightmare. And so needless to say, they asked me if I wanted something else, and I said, no, I'm out here. This is not going to end well. And I went someplace else and got back so that I could get to work. But so anyways, so what's happening with...
You should have just stuck with macaroni and cheese at home. Then you'd have been fine.
Probably would have tasted better too.
You're probably one of those guys that measures out your water, aren't you?
Okay, next segment. But yeah, so should we jump into some tools of the day, or do you have anything to add right now? Here.
No, I had a good day, so ready to roll into the show.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have got Firehouse subs like I did. I didn't have a single problem.
Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea on it. So which segment should we do for the tool of the day? Should we start off with the kid that's shooting targets at the bus?
I didn't want to call the kid a tool. Start with the old man that was having problems starting his trimmer. That guy's a tool. The kid was just an innocent bystander having fun.
Okay, it's let me see here. I think I got this one. This guy sitting in the kind of like in a, I don't know, whatever, but I'll just put it up there. I think this is the right one. Oh, sorry guys. Here we go. What's that?
Said notice how his wife's supporting him in the background.
Right. She's got the back. So here we go. So where should we go next here?
Well, the dude was probably out of gas. He just didn't check the gas. I mean, usually on trimmers, the number one thing that's wrong with them is the spark arrestor. And the spark arrestor is that little wire screen that's on the back of the muffler. And most of the times, trimmers won't start if those are clogged. So, I mean, it could have been as simple as taking one screw out, pulling the screen out, and that thing would have started. But the dude just lost his cool and snapped. And it's funny because a lot of people, like, get pissed with that stuff and chuck it. I mean, that stuff's, like, probably a super easy fix. He just got so unhinged there. And it didn't really help that his wife's in the background cheering him on.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So let me see. How about should we do the weed whacker overkill?
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah, so that is insane. I've never seen that before. I honest to God don't think this is an AI video. I think this is something they really built. But you can just hear the power from that thing, man. It's whining hard.
Yeah. Are those motors built then too, or they're not stock pistons or whatever? What can they build those small motors to go beyond?
You can't really port the clamshells, which most trimmers are. I don't know what specific engine on there is, but they got a modified muffler, obviously. And I mean, I don't know how they put it together to get it to work like that, but it's quite ingenuitive. And
Yeah.
I saw the video. I thought it was funny. And I mean, I think it's the real deal. I don't think it's AI.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see here. And got a couple other ones here. This one here. This is interesting.
So yeah, I mean, on those trees, if you get like a rotten cavity in there and it fills up with water, it's gonna do that when you cut into it. Obviously, I don't really see a rotten cavity there, so I'm not really sure where the water's coming from. But I have seen trees do that before. It's quite interesting. You don't expect it, and like the tree just starts peeing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just usually in rotten trees, like I said, it'll just capture the moisture and then it has nowhere to go. It just acts like a big cup that holds water.
So it's not water coming up from the ground or anything. It's just actually just stored in the tree there and kind of caught.
Yeah, just coming out. I mean, like if you have a maple tree, like in the spring, I mean, the sap's going to be running on those, but it ain't going to squirt out like that. So
Yeah.
that's obviously water from, whatever got stuck in there.
Okay. Now, we got to go to the kid.
I felt bad for the kid. It was just funny. I mean, we're getting towards harvest season and Halloween season. And I was like, hey, why not?
Yeah, all right. Let's see him.
You gotta play this a couple times.
Yeah.
You gotta play that a couple times.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Just look at those legs wiggle, man. You can feel his pain.
All right. One more time.
Ready?
Yep.
He just drilled himself right in the head. I mean, I can feel that. I mean, that would hurt. Those little pumpkins, man, they're hard as a rock.
Yeah. All right.
But at least he hit a target, I guess. I mean, he didn't strike out.
Yeah, and I thought this was all right. This one's kind of interesting here. This is his tree cutter or brush cutter.
So yeah, on these brush cutters, Steel and Husqvarna, I'm sure the other companies make attachments for the trimmers. You can convert your trimmers over to brush cutters. So like with these saw blades, you can take like these 6 and 8 inch caliper trees and cut them down with the saw blade. You really have to have the bicycle handles though, because you see how it wants to bounce off of there and you get quite a bit of kickback. So you can't really do that with the loop handle trimmers. I mean, they make metal blades for the loop handles, but most of that stuff's going to be for like, sucker trees like the size of your thumb or like vegetation, grass, stuff like that. But when you're doing the actual sawing, you got to have the bicycle handles. And I mean, the kit is just basically like this coupling, cup washer, and then a nut, and then you got your blade on there. But they are super handy. I sell a ton of those in the shop, people converting over to the brush cutters, especially if you got like a wooded property or an acreage.
Yeah, and so is that something that anybody can use, or is that more of a professional tool, and you got to have real skill to use that?
When you say anybody, I mean if you couldn't run a trimmer like and trim your yard without digging down to dirt and wrecking your siding, you shouldn't be running this. But I mean, if you can master trimming grass and do that without hurting yourself, you can probably do this.
So you're saying I would not be allowed to use this?
I would say you should probably stick to practicing your trimming before you get crazy with this. Otherwise, you might walk away with some digits missing. And I definitely would highly recommend everybody stay away when you're doing this. Like drop you off in the woods and let you have at it.
Okay. All right. So let's get back to shall we do Karen?
Oh, the baseball lady?
Yeah, now we didn't get the whole thing.
Lady, I've been hiding in the woods my whole life, but I know you don't take baseballs from a kid. Go find your own.
Ball is mine! You took it from me! The ball is mine!
Look, lady, I've been hiding in the woods my whole life, but I know you don't take baseballs from a kid. Go find your own.
Yeah, so I know this is like a week late, but Yeah, that whole thing was ridiculous, don't you think?
Oh yeah, totally. And I don't know. Did they? I don't think they actually found the actual lady that was doing it, and she got a lot of backlash, but I don't think they did any close-ups on her. And I don't think she got stalked or anything. So she's pretty lucky from that part.
I don't know how her name didn't get out. I mean,
Right.
obviously she goes to the grocery store, she lives somewhere, she works somewhere, she's
Right.
got relatives. I mean, there's somebody that doesn't like her out there. Like, everybody is tight-lipped and nobody said anything. I mean, there
Right.
were some names thrown out there of people that obviously weren't her and they were getting harassed, but like, I am so shocked that nothing happened with her at all. Like, she didn't even like make an apology or anything. She's just like, that's my ball. I'm taking it. I don't care if you're 8 years old or not.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was crazy. It's a good thing for the kid that the team reached out and he got the bat and got the special treatment. That I mean, that's like awesome. It'd be great to have the ball, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean that they obviously needed to do something for the kid, and they did the right thing. And I mean, just who does that? Like at a baseball game, like I understand that like she was butthurt because she didn't get the ball, but at the end of the day, when the dad handed it over to the kid, I mean, are you really going to argue with that? Like, if I would have got the ball and there was a kid there, I would have gave the ball to the kid anyway.
Sure.
You see that all the time. It's just being good spirited, and kids are the ones that we're there for. I mean, unless you're like a diehard where like you live and breathe it, but
Right.
still, even with that, I mean, have a little bit of humanity.
So is this you got there's like a chain sharpener or chain tester or whatever on a steel saw. Is that a product review or is that a
So
tool?
it should be a 2-in-1 file system. So
Okay. So that's like legit.
yeah, I sell them in the shop. So,
Okay.
yeah, you can play that video and then I'll explain a little bit about it.
Okay.
In all of our steel chains, there's a laser mark back here at the back.
Here, I'll go ahead and
The
start
question
over.
is, when's my chain worn out? On all of our steel chains, there's a laser mark back here at the back that does two things. It gives you a 30-degree angle to pattern your top plate angle by, and it also gives you a length that whenever you're back to that mark, your chain is worn out and time to replace.
So just for the record, I've always wanted one of these salesman samples, like of a cutting tooth, but I can't ever get them. Nobody makes them. So I've looked for them because it would be nice to have so I could show people and explain stuff instead of trying to show them something like the size of a dime. Most people are like, oh, I can't see the line or whatever. But that line on the back will show you the angle that you need to sharpen your chain in order to keep that cutting tooth where it's supposed to be. So most chains are going to be 30 degrees. You have like your Duros, which are 25, your Hexa chains, 25, and then you get into your ripping chains, they're 10 degrees. And if you don't have the right angle on there for the application, it's not going to cut right. So the idea with this product, it's a 2-in-1 file. There's two parts. The first one is going to be sharpening the cutting tooth, and the second one is going to be the flat file, and the flat file will take down the raker. So the raker is that little nub right in front of the cutting tooth. And what that raker does, it's going to set the depth of the chip that you're taking off of the wood. So if you leave that raker high, you're going to have a really narrow chip. If you take it too low, you're going to be biting into the wood too much. So that 2-in-1 system, it has guides on the outside which sit on the other teeth opposite the one you're sharpening. So that way it levels it out, and then all you have to do is make sure you're keeping your angle at that 30 degrees parallel to that line. And then as you're pushing through, it's going to file down the raker the same amount that it's filing the cutting tooth down, so it maintains that perfect depth. So there's like mixed opinions about those. Like if you know what you're doing and you're comfortable with them, they're really handy and they do what they're supposed to do. if you're not very good at sharpening and you don't have a lot of practice, it's going to be confusing and frustrating. But you have to learn. I mean, you're going to go through a lot of money if you just buy new chains every time you get them dull. I mean, new chains, depending on what size you get, you know, $20-some up to $50-some, where you buy that sharpener, the sharpener's like 40-some, and then you file that out, and, you know, you can probably get at least a dozen sharpenings on that chain if you do it right.
All right. So that's good information here. And we're going to jump back into, I think we're going to have another tool of the day, one more. And this time we're going to go automotive. And I love this one here. You know, if you're working around with, I don't know if any of you guys are automotive guys, but yeah, you don't mess around with springs and so on. And so here we go.
Do not get scammed.
He's pretty lucky.
Yeah, that's a good way to really get to know your tools.
It need $800 to replace a strut. $800. I watched a YouTube video. It's literally 3 bolts. Do not get scammed.
Definitely a tool.
Yeah, and you heard that little sigh at the end there. I mean, it wasn't like a manly deep like ah. It was like ah. I mean, it literally changed who he was after he got violated by whatever shot at him.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. Well, I guess you know, bringing on to the cars thing, and you know, Shawn and I have been around each other for a long time, and Shawn's been into the yard stuff and so on, and I've been in the automotive sector, and so I've had over 500 cars in my possession. I bought and sold on eBay and other venues, hundreds of cars independently, and you know, start off in high school. I drove a 79 Z28, and let me see here if I can pull a picture of it. I'm not sure if I can get a picture of it or not, but yeah, let me see here. I'll pull it up here. But yeah, so this was like my high school car, and I spent a lot of time in the industry as far as the limousine industry, and so I've got I actually even drove Roseanne to the. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough. I drove her to the Iowa homecoming game where her and Tom Arnold. She had just hit #1 on her hit show. And that's me with hair, actually, right there.
Holy cow! I was like, who is that weird guy that's there? And then it's like a little bit of a profile there.
Yeah, and so this was. She actually had just hit #1, and Tom and Roseanne got tattoos on their derrieres and showed them on national TV during the Iowa-Michigan football game. At that game. But yeah, and so this was my first limousine I pulled off or I had in high school, and then I had a Ferrari for quite a while. And so that's probably my most exotic car that I had. But you know, go ahead and
yeah, that was a nice car. You ruined it with that sticker on the side of it, though.
Okay. So, anyways, but then, so in the last few years, I've had a couple of cars. Well, and then I guess I could show this too here. I even with one one of my companies, I got into IndyCar and I'm sponsoring Buddy Rice in IndyCar. He won the 2004 Indy 500, and I just came across that picture here too. I'll share that right now. But yeah, I had an auto transport network that I ran, and so that's me and Buddy at one of the races there. But lately, I've done really good with cars. So, I've always been able to work with cars that are difficult cars to work with, and then I'd say it was 3 or 4 years ago, I had wanted a Mercedes GL 550 SUV, and they're very powerful cars. They've got close to 500 horsepower, and so it's an SUV that really moves. Good looking car, but man, it's like the worst nightmare. I had put a ton of money in it, and I finally got myself to the point where I was like, I'm getting out, because I'm just not going to deal with keeping on repairing cars all the time. And so I got rid of it. And then I've got one other car. One of my best friends, he had bought a 1984 Jaguar XJ6 Vandenpla, brand new. And he ended up passing away about 3 or 4 years ago, but the car had set for a long time. And the motor ended up being locked up for like 14 years, and we just got the motor to turn over, but we're chasing down all the problems with it, and it's been a frustrating venture for me, but I think we're getting close, and I think I'm going to have the car running here. Or, well, we've got it running, but I think we're going to have the bugs worked out of it, and I'm in between on whether I let it go or whether I keep on working with it. But here it is right here, and it'd be nice to be able to drive it around. And we just put a fuel switch in it. We did all new gas tanks. The car actually has two tanks in the rear quarter panels, and it has a left-right switch that you hit, and then it has Lucas fuel injection. If you guys know anything about Lucas, they can be a very difficult fuel injection system. So we put all new on that. It's got all new brake lines, all new suspension, new tires, and I've got Dayton wire wheels for this car. But I still have to go through the interior now that we've debugged everything and got all the hoses and everything done on it. And this winter I'll have to do the interior on it, and that'll be another run.
What are you doing in the interior? Just like recovering stuff, or?
Yeah, it's got Connolly leather, same thing that Rolls-Royce and Bentley had in, the same leather that Rolls-Royce and Bentley had in it. So that leather's expensive, and then all the wood's going to get redone in it too. So there's a guy in England that actually worked in the factory, and he builds authentic original dashes and all the wood trim, and they match the for the door panels and the console. And then he also builds a walnut steering wheel that is an exact fit for the car. And then you take the rubber horn pad off yours, and it goes right onto the new walnut steering wheel that you have. And the walnut matches the rest of the walnut in the car on the interior.
Cool.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
I bet that's pretty pricey.
It's gonna end up the interior is gonna be about $5,500 for the with the wood and the seats and so on to get the seats on. The seats are the leather, you can recondition it, but there's beading around the seats that have pulled tight, so the seats kind of I don't know if you've ever gotten into some really old cars that still have the seats in there, and the beading shrinks in, and then it ruins the way the seat is, and then the foam probably needs to be replaced in the car. But the car only has 50,000 miles on it, which is amazing on it. But then this here is actually the Mercedes, and I just sold that Mercedes and got rid of it. That car was just a nightmare, but anyways, yeah, so you can kind of see in there on the car. It's dirty, obviously. The car set forever. But looking forward to actually getting it out and enjoying driving the car. And hopefully I will get to do that this year
Yeah.
with it. But so yeah, it's like I've done really good with cars all my life, but for some reason the last couple go rounds has just been really tough for me to deal with and get worked out. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, hoping the Jaguar's ready to go. We've got several years into making it go, and the body's in great shape. So there's one little rust spot that needs to be taken care of, and it's up by the windshield. And every Jaguar has that rust spot. You got to take the windshield out and you just clean it out, and then you kind of refinish it right there and put the windshield back in, and you're good to go. So they all do it.
Yeah, just where the trim holds on to the moisture.
Yeah, and yeah, BC Outdoors. Yeah, definitely. The projects are expensive. My Mercedes, it absolutely killed me. That car cost me nearly $2 a mile to drive. I should have just went and bought a certified pre-owned with the unlimited mileage maintenance for 3 years on it, and it would have been cheaper to do that. But I tried to save a lot of money with it, and that just didn't work out. So, but I'm glad to be done with that. So, should we move on and talk about auctions?
Yeah, have at it.
Okay, so I've been in the estate buying out estates for quite a while, and we decided that with online auctions, they're doing really well. I think probably everybody's heard of high bid auctions. The real estate companies, especially in the ag world, they do the states. They don't have on-site auctions anymore. They go out, they put them on high bid, and then there's like coin auctions. I've got a friend that works with a auction house in California, and he lives here where we are, but he spends like 9 months out of the year in California, and he's an expert on art and pottery. He just actually that company, they just did Richard Simmons auctions. I know everybody's a big Richard Simmons fan here at AMG. So, but he actually did do a lot of pricing for that auction that they did out there. And so he's helped me work with that. And then Shawn has a couple of big buildings on his property. And we see an opportunity to set up weekly consignment auctions, and we'll be selling estate items out of there. I've got a friend that actually has 4 old antique tractors that are restored and running, and it sounds like that we're going to be auctioning those off. And then we've got coins, we've got household items, furniture, equipment, and then I think Shawn, you're going to run some stuff through on equipment as well.
Yeah, probably used power equipment. I actually have been getting a lot more of that in lately. A lot of guys can't afford to get into the new stuff unless they trade something in. So, I mean, the steel stuff people are trading in, especially chainsaws, that stuff, I would say retains maybe about half of its value, to maybe 2/3, depending on the condition of it, what new is. So they can get into something new without putting a whole lot of extra money on the table. So that's nice for them. And then, of course, my margins, I make a lot more margin on the used stuff than I do the new stuff. So it's a win-win for both of us. So if I can get some of that stuff in the high bid auctions, I mean, people get some really nice stuff at a pretty good price.
Yeah, and that's great. And and the nice thing is we might even bring some of the things that are in our weekly auctions, show them on this show, and then we'll we'll also be doing a channel that will focus in on what we have going on in the auction, what we have available. Um, we don't have anybody's with boats right now, but I'm positive that they will come up because I do run across boats. So, and I have friends with some pretty nice boats and then some pretty simple boats too. So I'm sure all ranges, and we might even hot tubs too, maybe.
Yeah, hot tubs. I don't know if you guys saw the video. I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago or whatever. I started selling hot tubs in the shop. Friend of mine has a pool and spa business, so he usually comes across to use spas for free. So then he takes them, fixes them up. I clean them, get them in the shop, and then I resell them. So we'll probably have those on the auctions as well. But that's a good little business to be in too. So lots of money there in spas. I mean, the things cost so much money new that a lot of people want to get into them, but they can't afford new. So if we can do the used thing, it helps make us money and helps get somebody into something they want. Yeah, sky's the limit. If it makes money and sells, we're gonna do what we can.
Yeah, and we're hoping to run at first to be running around 400 lots a week. But ultimately, we'd like to get up to where we have 1,000 lots a week that we're running through our auctions. And I have a lot of friends with a lot of neat stuff that is going to go through too, as well. So electronics, just you name it, we'll probably have it come through the door. And
even clothes. Like I was talking to Kirk earlier today. My kids do resell on Depop, vintage clothes. Dad bod clothes from the 80s and 90s. That stuff has actually come around today. Old Carhartt stuff, faded, worn, ripped, torn. I mean, that stuff is commanding a premium. The kids just sold a Carhartt jacket for $100, something that was probably 30 or 40 bucks back in the 90s. But now that it's vintage and it's got some wear on it, it's worth twice as much money. So, I mean, there's a lot of money in anything if you find the right audience. So, it'll be a fun project. It'll be a break from what I'm doing, and it's always fun to do something different.
Yeah. So let me see here. What else do we have for? So, do you have anything that any stories this week from the shop or?
Not much. It was a pretty slow, low-key week. My mother-in-law died Tuesday, so I wasn't in the shop Tuesday. I was gone part of Wednesday, so missed out on some of that stuff. But had a few repairs. I had the 064 AV chainsaw that I was working on. I did make a live video with that. So I'm still trying to work my way through that. The older saws are just a lot. They can be a big money pit and a death trap because you think you got something figured out, and then as soon as you get that figured out, then you find out that there's something else, and then you fix that, and then you figure out there's something else, and it just turns into a never-ending project. I mean, just like an old car or something. I mean, once you fix one thing, now you found out you got to fix another thing. So this one wasn't getting spark, so I ordered a new ignition coil. And they don't make OEM ones anymore. I couldn't find a new old stock, so I had to go aftermarket, which I hate doing because they're usually junk. And then there's the ground wire on there for the shut off the kill switch. That wire was bad, so I replaced that. And that ended up giving me spark because I thought originally the coil was bad. So I got that restored, so I have spark on the unit. I took the carburetor apart, cleaned that. There was some debris in it, put it back on. Wasn't able to get it started. So I took the muffler off. The exhaust side was good. But when I looked at the carburetor side, the air intake side, there was some scoring on it. So at some point, somebody had got debris in there, whatever, and it just you know, the scoring wasn't like super heavy, but it was enough where I could see it visibly without looking that hard. And then the piston was just really worn down. So I think that it's getting blow by with the rings and stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's going to need a new piston and rings. I think the cylinder's probably fine because the scoring's not really deep. So I should be able to clean that up and reuse it. But at a minimum, piston and rings. And I think that'll probably get the saw going. I mean, there could be a leak or something. I didn't get into doing a pressure vacuum test on it yet because obviously if we have a piston problem, I need to fix the piston too, so I need to get that coming. But very rarely do I see like a seal leak or crankcase leak or something like that. I mean, it's very, very rare. I mean, and there's certain saws that you normally will see that stuff on, so you know to look out for it. But yeah, so that'll be fun. It had a steel Bing carburetor. As long as I've been doing this, I have not come across a Bing carburetor. So if I need a carburetor, I can't even get a carburetor for it unless I go probably the aftermarket route, unless I got really, really lucky and found a new old stock one on eBay. But the chances of that happening are probably slim to none. So, I mean, it doesn't need to be rebuilt. The carburetor, the gaskets are good on it. The diaphragms are good on it. The inlet needle's good on it. The overall condition of it's fine. So if it doesn't work, there's something inside of it that's blocking a jet or something that even if I take the jets out, it's going to be internal and I can't really clean it. So I just need to replace it. So we're going to start with the piston and the rings, and hopefully that takes care of it. I'm going to get that ordered on Monday, and I will do an update video once I see what's going on with that. But other than that, pretty slow week at the shop.
Yeah, and so is there any industry news for the small engine shop for Steel Husqvarna or anything like that?
Steel doesn't really tell us as dealers anything until they're ready to release it. Like, we don't get like oh, hey, in 2 months there's going to be this really cool thing. It's like, you know, if we want to know something, watch what they're doing over in the European market, because they always get the cool stuff first, and then we know what's coming down the pipeline, and then it gets released here. So Steel side of things, I don't see anything coming. I'm hoping that since next year's their 100th anniversary, that they come out with a really cool saw. So we'll see if they have something really cool to release, or they just sort of biff it, and you know, like they did with, they had their 50th anniversary of Virginia Beach, and the only cool thing that they came out with was a Farm Boss bar that said 50th anniversary. I mean, there wasn't like anything super exciting, so it was a little bit of a letdown on that, I guess. I was looking for something bigger, but whatever. Husqvarna, they have a 564 XP fuel injected chainsaw coming out. That'll be the first fuel injected chainsaw from Husqvarna. Steel already has the 500i. The 564 XP, from the specs that I see, is going to be similar to like a 362 400 saw on the side of Steel. That's already been released in Europe. We should probably have that, I would say, after the first of the year, but that's the next big anticipated saw that we'll have in the shop. I've already got several of them pre-sold, and I've got one customer that wants to get their saw ported, so as soon as I get it in, I'm going to see if I can get a rush on getting the porting done, and then hopefully bring it to the channel. I'll make a video of a ported 564 XP, probably the first one in the United States when I get my hands on it. So that will be something to look forward to next year.
Yeah. All right. So any old saws you've been working on, or
just that old 064 saw. The customer actually had two of them. I did the other one the week before. It had a tank vent that was missing. So on the older saws, even the new saws, if the tank vent is missing, it can't pressurize the system. And in order to get that fuel into the carburetor, you have to have some pressure. So if you don't have a tank vent on there and you got a big hole in your gas tank, obviously it's going to be leaking fuel when you turn it and, you know, do your cuts and stuff, but you're going to be starving that carburetor for fuel. So I fixed that on his other saw, and then he brought this one in, and of course this one has had quite a few issues, and I've spent a bunch of time on it already, but I know when I get an old saw in, it's not going to be just easy cut and dry. Pretty much anything over probably 20-year-old saw is going to be a problem child. They just are. Anybody that's dealt with them before knows that you always run into something. So if it comes in and it's not running, you have to do the obvious stuff. If it doesn't have spark, you have to do ignition coil. If the piston's scored, you have to fix that. So before you can do anything else and see what else is wrong, you have to take care of the obvious stuff. So, and that usually, you know, takes time. By the time you order the parts, get them in, put them on, find out something else is wrong, go order more parts, come back to it. I mean, it can take several weeks if you can find the parts on the older stuff.
Yeah. So how's the economy hitting your business right now?
I think the economy around where I'm at sucks. I mean, my tree guys, I always ask them how their business is doing just to, you know, gauge on their end if people are spending money or not. And then obviously if customers aren't spending money with them, then they don't bring in money into the shop and spend it with me. My good tree services, I would say, are probably 2 to 3 weeks out on jobs. Last year, I want to say it was closer to like a month to 2 months out on work. They were that far out. The guys that obviously don't run their businesses as well, they're really hurting right now. They're sort of starving for work. So, of course, they're not buying stuff. Consumers, I mean, after steel jacked their prices up the first part of July, which was like completely stupid, crazy numbers. Some of the saws were like $150 or more. I think there was one mower that was like $5,000 higher. It was just stupid money. But customers come in and then they start kicking the tires because they see the prices and they don't have money, so they can't throw it down on that stuff. That's why I've got into doing more trade-ins and doing used equipment, because, you know, people still need the stuff and people want to buy stuff, but if they don't have money, I mean, I can get them into something used for almost half the price of new. That helps them out. And then if they have something they want to trade off, I can take that in and then fix that and get it to somebody else that needs it. So it works out for everybody. Then I'm still selling new stuff, but I have used options available for people that can't afford the new. So that way nobody's going away without something.
Yeah, did you see BC? I'm doing a piston and cylinder on a 028 wood boss. The customer leaned out high screw on the carb.
Yeah, customers like I call them Tinkerbells. That's my thing. When people tinker with something and they don't know what they're doing, like, the worst thing in the world is when a customer comes in with a box of parts. It drives me insane. Like, they attempted to fix something and they took about twice as much off the saw as they needed to make the repair. I had what was it? It was like a 455 Rancher. The carburetor needed to be replaced on the saw, and the customer had started taking off the handle assembly, started taking out the crank screws. I mean, on the case, he started taking everything off, and I'm like, dude, like, he brings in this box and he couldn't figure out how to get the carburetor off because the carburetors have a mount and there's two little rubber boots that hold on that mount on the side, and he didn't see those there, so he was taking everything else off the saw, and it's like, oh, that stuff's frustrating. But yeah, people mess with carburetors all the time. Most of my Pro Series saws I get with the M-Tronic carburetor, which on the steel side or the Auto Tune on the Husqvarna side, That way they're all electronically adjusted, so the customer can't go in and adjust the screws on there because there are no screws. It's all electronic. So I try to dummy proof it as best as I can because I just know most people don't know how to tune a carburetor. And even a lot of these YouTube videos out there, I mean, they're really, really terrible. And there's a lot of guys that don't know how to do it. And they're making videos acting like they do know how to do it. I will put out a plug to my buddy Tim, Iowa Performance Saws. Check out his channel. He has some good tuning videos. That's all Tim does. He does performance work and porting on chainsaws. So he tunes a lot of carburetors. He sees a lot of saws. He's got some really good videos. I haven't really got in depth to doing a video on that. I probably should. It's in my wheelhouse. I just, for whatever reason, I haven't got to it. But Tim has an awesome couple videos out there that shows how to do that. So, again, Iowa Performance Saws. Check out his channel and look for that. So it's really helpful.
Yeah, and so I tell you what, do you have anything else you want to add tonight, or?
No, I think we nailed most of the stuff. I mean, yeah, we sort of threw this together tonight. I know you've been busy. I've been busy with just a lot of stuff going on in life, and we wanted to make it happen and be consistent with it. So hopefully we'll get a schedule down. But I mean, Saturday nights are probably going to be a good night that we'll be keeping the videos on.
Sure. Yeah, and so Shawn and I, we tend to follow certain things, and we wanted to play a video tonight, tribute video. As you might know, the shooting in Utah with Charlie Kirk is something that kind of hit us and is heavy on our hearts, and both Shawn and I have a very strong faith and have a lot of respect for how Charlie lived his life with his family, and it just was really heartbreaking to see this happen and see his little girl. You know, she would run up to him all the time, and he just good, solid family guy. And so, you want to say anything about that, Shawn, before I play the video? Or
I mean, just like everybody else, you scroll like aimlessly through your, your shorts or whatever. You're gonna see videos. I've seen Charlie's videos before. I wasn't somebody that avidly followed his podcast or anything like that. I thought his content was good. My cup of tea is Jesse Kelly, so there's a plug for Jesse Kelly if you want commentary podcast. That's my go-to guy. But nonetheless, I thought Charlie was a good, honest, decent dude. And when I had saw what happened, my daughter actually was the one that texted me. My kids, I've got young kids and teenagers. They follow Charlie Kirk, and like that was like a big blow to them. And they saw that video of him getting shot, and I mean, they were devastated. Like it was horrible. And my kids aren't political. They're just kids that like scroll through stuff just like we do. And he really resonated with young people in their age group. I mean, all the way through the 20s, 30s. But yeah, I mean, that is like a devastating thing because he was really able to connect with an audience that, in politics and neither group before has really been able to connect with. And yeah, it was hard to watch that. I watched the full video, the graphic video, and honestly, as an American, it just royally pissed me off because I get so tired of people telling everybody that you have to believe a certain way or you have to do this and you have to conform. It's like, we live in a country, in a world where everybody gets to have their own opinion. And just because somebody doesn't agree with you doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I mean, I disagree with Kirk. I'm not going to go shoot Kirk. You know, it's just at some point we have to be an adult and we have to be human and we have to be caring for other people. And I mean, it just shows there's a lot of evil out there. I mean, this isn't the first person that has had something like that happen to them. I mean, there's all sorts of people on both sides of the political fence and people that aren't even political that, you know, ride a subway that get killed. But we just need to restore humanity. And then obviously there's some faith issues that a lot of people have too, just evil hearts. So I mean, what's that? Unless you got something to add, just roll the video. We can do a commentary afterwards. But
all right,
it's sad.
We're active in about 15 campuses, and we're growing very, very quickly. And keep in mind, this is not just a flash in the pan movement. We're going to become an institution to give them the power and the confidence to stand up and let their voice be heard. I started this organization when I was 18 years old. I decided not to go to college. I didn't get in my dream school, which was the United States Military Academy at West Point. I have this idea to galvanize and motivate the future youth of this country around a core set of ideas, not just political parties or politicians. And the ideas are really America's the greatest country in the history of the world. The Constitution is the greatest political document ever written, and free enterprise is the most assured way to lift people out of poverty and create prosperity for all. Those are the three big ideas. And I think that's something that can win.
We as Christians are called to go into the public arena to correct error with truth. So I go to college campuses and there's a lot of error. We're all sinners. We are all live in error. I'm far more interested in what God wants of me than what I want from God.
I have to say this without getting emotional, but I'm very proud of my husband. And I know many of you are too. You have worked so hard. And I know a lot of you have seen, obviously, his videos on TikTok and all the stuff he does on campus, but no one gets to see him from my angle except for myself and our children. And the sacrifices that he made this year, he's amazing. I'm very blessed.
And I would not have been able to do any of it without Erica. And that's the real truth. I'll tell you what. You are here as a grassroots response to the top-down revolution happening in this country. I want our Turning Point USA students to receive a round of applause. These are the freedom fighters of America.
And the media said that Turning Point could never run a ground game. They weren't experienced. They didn't know Charlie, right?
This is the greatest generational realignment since Woodstock. This generation is the most conservative generation that we have seen in well over 50 years, and the numbers show it. What young people especially are screaming at is they say, give me a structure that I can live my life by. And especially with young men, more challenging of them, more saying, you know what, honestly, I'm not gonna talk down to you. Stop being a boy and become a man. You wanna learn what that means? Come to church and I'll tell you what it means to become a man. Because we have the greatest story ever told. What can I do to save the country? You answer that question every single day, because you are doing the work to save this beautiful republic. You are doing something that is bigger than you.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
So yeah,
it just kills me.
Yeah, he was very, very articulate. I mean, take the content off the table, just him being able to demonstrate his message super humbly, super clear, super intelligently. I've always been impressed every time I've heard him talk. So it's hard to hate somebody that just comes across as a nice guy. And if you watch a lot of his videos, people he disagreed with, he wanted to hear what they had to say. He made sure he was one of the people that was always giving everybody a fair shake to speak their mind, and he would sit there and listen. And we don't have enough listening in this world anymore, and you know, it's just too bad. You know, there's a lot of things that guy could have accomplished, but you know, life cut short.
Right. And Shawn knows, and I spend well, probably as much time serving as I do actually working. And I work with guys that are in recovery and dealing with faith issues and addictions and all sorts of things. And it's amazing to see a guy like Charlie who, he was there. He's like, prove me wrong. That's what his deal was. That was his tour, was prove me wrong. Going out and sitting and listening to people, um, hearing them and having a conversation with them, not insulting them.
I mean, social media, it's all over the place. I follow a lot of forums, these, chainsaw forums, arborist forums, power equipment forums. And it's like, people can't just be nice. They just can't keep their mouth shut. Like, if somebody believes a certain way about, I mean, it doesn't even have to be political. If somebody believes, hey, this brand of chainsaws is better and, whatever, it's like somebody always has to come along and just like pick and slam. And it's like not in good humor, like trying to be funny and nice. It's like, it's mean spirited, and it's getting repulsive. I mean, it's just stupid stuff. It's like, why are people even having issues with certain things? Because, I mean, it doesn't cost anything to be nice to people.
Right. And, it's a thing of where I have a profile on X. And so I was sharing some commentary on there, and I had somebody that she claims her brother was one of the people that carried Charlie into the vehicle. I don't know if it's true or not. And it's really irrelevant, but she had hit me pretty hard for my stance, and I've come to keeping a pretty simple stance and just keeping my face centered in on Christ and keeping my focus there. And I'm not going to argue the rest of the stuff. I'm just not going to do it. And Shawn knows my history, where I lived a pretty rough life, as far as how I felt about myself and so on, and that really ties into this. I did a life transformation over the last 9 years, where I learned to like myself. And there's a lot of people that they just don't like themselves, and
I think people have anger issues and resentment issues, and instead of just trying to work through that, they just look for somebody else to hurt and transfer their hurt.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what the topic is. It's like hurt people, you know what I mean? It's
right.
At some point you have to stop that chain reaction, and you have to be mature enough to deal with yourself. And there's just so many people that are just immature about life.
Well, I'm hopeful that what happens is that there are a considerable amount of people that change the way that they see things. Number one is that I think we need to speak up, and we need to be more vocal about how we see the world. But at the same time, we need to have compassion for those people. This young kid that's guilty of this thing. I was all gung ho to sit there and say, I was angry. I was really angry when that happened. And his dad talked him into turning himself in, and they even went to his clergy, and he got him to go and turn himself in, and that, you know, that had to be such a difficult thing. And the kid was in scouts, and so it can happen to anybody. And I think we have to be vigilant with everybody, because we really don't know what's going through everybody's mind, and there are tough times. So
No, there's tough times. There's mental illness. There's, there's so many different things, and that stuff doesn't just happen overnight. It's built over years and years and years, and we need to do more jobs of de-escalating situations instead of ramping it up and pushing people to the edge even more. I mean, that goes for everybody. I mean, we're all guilty of saying and doing things that we could do a lot nicer.
yeah, and at the same time, we need to hold people accountable, and we need to call people out.
Yeah, and that is why I got out of the lawn and landscape business, because when I first started the business, I never had those issues, but towards the end, after doing it for almost 20 years, nobody wanted to be held accountable. Like, you couldn't even tell people, hey, you're trimming the wrong way. You should trim this way, so that way you're not destroying something, or your trimmer line lasts longer, whatever. They get offended. They get mad. They don't want to listen to you. It's like, good Lord. I mean, I'm trying to show you how to do your job right, and people can't even take directions on that, let alone tell them something else that's major in their life is wrong. It just, everybody wanted to be validated and lifted up, and it's like, back to the accountability. I mean, if you're not doing something right in your life, somebody should be able to tell you that, and you should be able to accept that.
Now, on the letter side, I've been trying to have this conversation with Shawn, and we're working on it, and he's making progress, but I just wanted to let you know.
On the lighter side of things, yeah.
But
a spade's a spade, buddy.
So, anyways, well, I tell you what, I think that about does it for tonight. What do you think, Shawn? Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No. We'll probably plan on next Saturday again, doing one roughly about the same time. We'll get our schedule down a little bit better once this thing gets going and taken off, and then we'll just keep developing content. When either one of us sees something that we think you guys will like, we'll get that video up here for you so you guys can enjoy it with us.
Yeah. Hey, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us to have you watching it, and we hope you come back, and hope you subscribe, that you find it interesting, and drop us a note, put comments in, and let us know what you want to hear. And maybe there's more things that we can add to the show. Maybe there's things that you don't want to talk about. Let us know. We'll listen, and that makes the show great. We're gonna add some things coming up. It'll probably take us a month or two to get some really cool ideas in process, and that we'll do, that I'm sure will be entertaining and be unique to other shows. We look forward to doing it. We like being here and sharing our stories, and we want to hear from you. And who knows, we will probably end up even having guests in the future that are in the industry or around the industry that can help out. And it'd be nice to know too. Are you are you in the business? Are you a hobbyist? Let us know where you're at, and we'll try and make the show wrapped around for you. So thanks again for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Tune into the channel throughout the week. I'll keep dropping videos, stuff that comes through the shop. I don't even know what I'm going to do a video about until it drops on my desk. So, yeah, thanks for watching.
All right. Have a great day and have a blessed week.